Hello and welcome back to this second in a series of instructional videos on how to play the digital version of Fury at Midway. Now at the end of the first instructional video we showed how to set up the Japanese carrier air units, how to move the fleets and how to deploy strike groups, and we had I think 3 strike groups moving out to sea. This isn't the same game, it's a different game, but the same situation, so we can see the same situation play out where 3 IJN strike groups are now about to conduct their second air operation, and it takes 2 air operations to conduct an air strike on a carrier that is fleet that is 4 hexes away, which is the case here. So on the first air op the units move out, we saw that in the last video, and then they'll hit the American carriers on this second. We have the game state. I don't know if I showed you that in the last one. We got the game log, which shows everything that happens, and then the game status, which is various game parameters, shows damage to American carriers and the Midway runway, and whatever attack and fighter strength amongst the Midway and carrier planes. This information would be available anyway to the player, because you get to see the results of your attacks when you roll the dice, as we'll see in a minute. So this is not anything that necessarily should be hidden. So full strength for the American carrier task force is 18 attack steps and 12 fighter steps. So let's push on with these strikes on the American carrier strike force. There are 3 Japanese strike groups, 4 units in strike group 2, 2 units in strike group 4, 2 units in strike group 5. You can zoom in a little bit and have a look at that. And if you just hover over the strike groups, it'll basically say the only place you can move is to the American fleet. So we'll start off by dragging strike group 5 across. The red screen comes up with a Japan flag, which again indicates that the Japanese player has to do something, in this case to select which task force to attack. So I'll select task force 17, and then you roll a die to see if you get to attack that actual task force, and I rolled a 1, which is a success, so I do. The next screen is the blue screen with an American flag, so that means the AI player has to do something. In this case the AI player selects how many cap fighter units to allocate to cap interception, and then rolls 1 die per step. So 2 dice, rolling a hit on a 3 or less, which is its combat factor. And so in this case we've got 1 hit from the American fighter cap, and I then have to allocate that hit to any of my attacking units. I'll take 1 off the fighter escort. And then I get to counter attack, so I roll a die there. I didn't get any hits this time. We go straight to anti-aircraft fire. Again, it's a blue screen with an American flag, so the AI rolls the dice. You've got to roll 1s on the anti-aircraft screen to get a hit, so no hits there. And then the attacking Akagi D3A dive bomber unit gets to roll 2 dice for its attack on the Yorktown, and it achieves 1 hit. So then you have to do the roll to see which of the 2 flight deck boxes are actually damaged. In this case I've rolled a 4, so that's the stern, and it will tell you if any units on deck were hit. In this case the Yorktown SBD dive bomber unit is taken out. So we close that down, and that's the end of that airstrike. Then we can do the next one. We can do them in any order, so we'll do strike group 4. Again, I think I'll select Yorktown, see if I can finish him off. But this time I failed, so I'm going to hit task force 16. The AI player again has selected 2 fighter units for cap for air combat, and rolled 4 dice, got 2 hits. In this case I don't have any fighters to take the hits from, so I'll have to take them from the attack units, which whittles them down a bit. No escort counterattackers, so no fighters. Anti-aircraft fire again, blue screen, the American flag, which means the AI player does something. He's rolled the dice, 2 fires missed, and then I get to do my target selection. Well, let's attack Enterprise with these 2 1-step units. I only get 2 dice because they're 2 1-step units. And the attack resolution again, I do get a +1 because there are planes on deck, and I do get a +1 because we've got a torpedo plane and a dive bomber, so they'll hit on normally they would hit on 3 or less, but with the die roll modifier they'll get to hit on 4 or less. I got 1 force, that means 1 hit. And carrier damage, again I've got to roll to see which of the 2 Enterprise flight deck boxes were hit, so I'll roll the die there. I get a 4, so that's the stern, so the Enterprise dive bomber unit again there was eliminated. I have one more strike group, this strike group 2 with 4 units, so we'll attack again. I think I'll go after Yorktown, roll the die, but I failed again, so we're going to go after Task Force 16. But the Americans have no cap left, so they can't attack my incoming strike this time, which means I'll attack at full strength, and they missed with the anti-aircraft. So I will get, I think I'll put 2 units onto Enterprise, and 3 would probably be overkill, so I think I'll put 1 on Hornet. I should sink Enterprise because I'll get 4 dice attacking there, and I get the +1 for the combined attack. There are no attack planes on deck. It's crucial to see that it's attack planes. There is a plane on deck, but it's a fighter plane. You only get the DRM for attack planes on deck, so the dive bomber will attack with 3, and the torpedo plane here with a 4. And I got 1 hit, and that's enough to disable Enterprise. It's not sunk, but its flight deck's out of action, so it will play no further part in the battle unless it gets... There is a card, actually, I think it's called Damage Control, which you can... Card number 2, you can take a hit off, so the Enterprise may come back. We'll see what happens later with the cards. Eliminated air unit, again a fighter unit destroyed on deck, and the attack on Hornet with the single Hiryu D3A dive bomber unit get 2 dice, and I get 1 hit. Again, roll to see which of the boxes are taken out. Another American fighter unit is destroyed, and that is the end of my air operation. And now all I have to do is take all of these strike units and move them back to their return 2 boxes. Because it was a 2 air op mission, they have to go back to return 2, and then on the next air op they'll go back to return 1, and then the air op after that they'll go back to the hangar. So it takes a couple of air operations to get out to the carriers to attack, and then a couple more air operations to get back. So in this case, where you have a 4 hex range, 2 air ops out and 2 back, it actually takes 4 air operations for the Japanese strike planes to get out and back. So that's quite time consuming, and with only, this is the Japanese last air operation of the turn, so it'll take well into turn 2 before my strike planes can be recovered and then sent off for any more airstrikes. So that's the end of the Japanese 3 airstrikes. And just a summary, what we did there, we got 2 damage on Enterprise, 1 on Yorktown and 1 on Hornet. So of the 6 flight deck boxes on the American carriers, only 2 are left. So that will severely limit American strike capabilities. They will have got a strike off before I hit, will they? And in this particular game, no, the Americans haven't had a go yet, so they're probably not going to be able to do very much. So let's have a look at what they do. You can actually show the situation of the American units if you want to, but it's... the game is designed to be played with hidden forces. You can get rid of the Japan strike groups box by taking that away, and then you can see exactly what is the situation. And what we actually know now is that the Americans would be able to launch a single strike from Hornet, and that's all they'll be able to do. Now, as I say, I don't recommend showing the American planes, but you can actually play the whole game with the American air units and ships on display, fleet units. Make the game a bit easier, but that's really just there for when I was debugging. I'd say I recommend to play it with hidden forces, which is how the game is intended to be played. So I guess there'll be an American strike winding its way across, but I think I'm gonna stop there, and we'll see an incoming American strike with a bit more potency in another video, which I'll make next time. So thanks for watching. This is the second of a series of videos, and we'll continue in further videos with more gameplay and more functionality. Thanks for watching.